In the meantime, actually, no, I'll actually just wait. I'll wait for a few people to join.
Okay. Great for my cat just bombing a hairball right now. How amazing. Love that time.
Yeah, luckily my cat fell asleep. So
my
I should
cat
be
never
fine.
falls asleep. She's always awake when I'm awake.
That's worrying.
A little, maybe.
Okay.
Where can I see chat, by the way? Should I just go to YouTube or something?
Let me see if I can show you the cat and icicle. No, that's the wrong way. Say hi, chat. There you go. Okay, I assume a few people are watching. How are you doing today, Paige?
Pretty good. I guess it's been a pretty unproductive day. I did play the guitar today, so that was cool.
That's nice. Do you do that often?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just started playing like a week or two ago it was a birthday present, so I've been basically playing like every day.
That's nice. Was that something you had like been wanting to do?
No, I think I was like listening to a song in the car, and I was just like listening to the instrumentals or whatever, and I was like, wow, this shit kind of slaps. And so then I realized, oh, that's the guitar. Let me pick up the guitar. And so I just decided to get one for my birthday. I actually wanted a gaming laptop for my birthday, but I decided to get a guitar instead. So I think it's a bit more productive. So yeah.
Okay, just a moment. All right. Okay. Yeah, the questions I'm about to ask, they might be like slightly familiar, and there's no reason whatsoever for that.
Okay.
Before I go into like the actual questions, have you been diagnosed with, or do you suspect you have any mental conditions? Are you in a different mood than usual? Is there anything else a typist should know about your current state?
Yep, this does sound familiar. But no, nada.
Okay, good to know. Okay, yeah, first off, what do you look for in friendships, and what do you typically talk about or do with your friends?
I guess usually I would like to have friends or like a friend group that is usually like non-judgmental and is just usually accepting of who everybody is. Usually I hope that we can all share like the same type of interests and like hobbies and stuff like that, because I feel like it's easier to relate to them on that level. But like I'd obviously be like open-minded to get to know other interests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But mostly I prefer like staying with my own interests and hobbies, because I just find it easier to relate to people through that. But yeah, definitely a big emphasis on the non-judgmental part because I had like a really toxic friend group at one point, and they would just like be really judgmental about like the strangest stuff. Like they would like point out like my looks or like the way I acted and stuff like that, even though I was literally like acting like a normal human being. Oh, sorry, that's my dog. um, but
Okay.
but yeah, um, I just really wish that they kind of acted like that ideal friend group, but they kind of were like the opposite of that. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. One moment. Okay. Um, yeah, that all sounds about right. Uh, do you work or study? If so, where do you work or what do you study?
Um, well, I just graduated from high school.
That's
I'm
nice.
about to go to college on August 15th to be specific. Um, so yeah, I'm just an up and coming freshman in college.
What are you thinking that you might want to major in?
I'm thinking about, I've mainly stuck my mind to majoring in neuroscience and psychology. Um,
Why is that?
um, I think it just mainly comes from the fascination of like, well, I think it's like a mix of personal experience and just like researching it on my own because I have plenty of family members that were diagnosed with either autism or they're on like they have like Asperger's or something like that. Yeah, it's just a very common thing in our family. Um,
Right.
and also, I guess it stemmed from like learning about MBTI a little bit. So it kind of just came from there as well. Um, and just other stuff like I wanted to know about more about like personality disorders, and I've been like really intrigued about like one in particular, like the dissociative identity disorder. Like I really want to get know like more about that because I feel like it's often misunderstood because it's hard for people to really put themselves in the shoes of those type of people. So
Okay. Um, aside from that, what are your main hobbies or interests?
um, I guess it would mainly just be I haven't been as engaged with it, but usually it's drawing, watching TV, specifically anime, playing video games, um, playing the guitar is a new one. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. But I guess mainly I've just been watching TV and playing my guitar mainly. So, because
That's
it's been like,
understandable.
yeah, because of this whole like quarantine stuff, and like I've been like restricted to staying inside all day. I've
Hmm.
been getting like tired of all my hobbies, so I don't know what else to do anymore except pick up a new one. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, how much of a focus with your hobby is there on like future ambition? Like obviously there isn't going to be with like watching TV, but maybe some of the
Yeah.
other ones, as opposed to just like enjoying it.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I do kind of wish at times that if I were to get like really good at the guitar, um, a part of me really hopes that I could have like a musical career or like maybe like a side job or just some way to make some type of money or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it like too big or something like that. Like I don't care that much because if I were to turn something like a hobby into like a career or like just put a name out there for that. I feel like I would probably lose more passion for it in a way. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention I also like learning languages. Yeah, haven't been doing it as often, but I learned Japanese a little bit. But like even in that case scenario, when it comes to like learning Japanese, it's a little I guess it's a little tiresome at times because like the routine aspect and like just like having to go to class like each Saturday or whatever, it kind of takes the fun out of it. So I'd rather
Yeah,
just be relaxed and like just do it on my own accord. Um,
I understand that.
so yeah.
What languages are you able to speak right now?
Sorry, say that again.
What languages do you know right now?
I mean, I'm mainly just fluent in English.
I can tell.
So I mean, I guess I'm also good at Spanish. I mean, I've been learning it since first grade, so I should be good at it, but I don't think I'm that good at it. Um, I might hold a decent conversation, but yeah,
I'm sure you're fine.
I guess so. I'm a little humble, I would say. Um, and then Japanese, I can't hold a conversation in that, so I can read it a little bit, but yeah, that's about it.
All right. Um, do you have any significant other, or have you had one? If so, compare yourself with them. How are you different?
Nope and nope.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know how applicable this is in that case, but in choosing romantic partners, what's a deal breaker for you, but not for most other people? If it's applicable, if you can think of something, then
Yeah, I
answer.
could
If not,
try.
then I'll just.
I feel like it would probably just be the same case scenario with like the friend group. Um, yeah, I feel like the same traits that I have in like the friend group is often like the same things I would like apply to a romantic partner. Just to not be judgmental, just be chillax, I guess, and blah blah
Yeah,
blah. Basically what I said earlier.
yeah. One moment. Um. Okay. How easy is it for you to feel relaxed, and what do you do to relax? I feel like I can kind of guess the answer to the second
Yeah, you
one,
can
but
probably
like,
guess what it is. Hmm. I feel like it's relatively easy for me to be relaxed. Sometimes when I feel like any type of stress, I usually try to suppress it a lot because it really, like, I guess, it really affects my body in a way that is like unbearable. So I just try to distract it with like doing something else, which would be like my hobbies or just, you know, pacing
yeah,
around. I don't know, but yeah, definitely like my hobbies, just something to occupy my mind or body, I guess, a little bit. Um, so I'm just not doing nothing and just like sitting there. Um, so yeah.
yeah. One moment. Um. Entering something in.
Oh, good.
Okay, that's probably good. Sorry. How physically active are you and why?
Um, Recently I haven't been pretty physically active. Um, but like when it came to school, I guess during school I would participate in track and field, so I guess that was pretty much my outlet of um, being physically active. My mind wasn't really like set on track and field, but I think I did like the experience of it a lot. Um, yeah, that was definitely like I felt like it was a really, really hard sport physically and emotionally, or mentally, not emotionally. Didn't really help me like emotionally, but like it was just so much to like go to track meets every Saturday and just oh so tiring. But yeah, I like the experience of the track, and I really like the team bonding between all of like my teammates and stuff like that. I really like that aspect of it. But that has nothing to do with being physically active. But yeah, that was definitely my outlet of being out there in the physical world. Um, but yeah, that's usually the only way I get out there. Um, I wish I could do it more often, but I'm too lazy to be honest. So yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, Daniel has a question.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I can see it.
yeah.
Are you pretty self-aware of how your body is feeling? Yeah, I would say that I'm very self-aware of it. Usually I might be like lazy in some aspects when it comes to like self-care, like always following through like my facial care routine and stuff like that. But like I'm usually like really disrupted if like my body is feeling off or whatever. Like I remember one time, like just like a week ago or something, my dad like put some weird incense in the room, and I was just like really disturbed by the way it smelled. I got so mad at him. I started yelling and stuff. Um, because it just really like upset me. So it felt like my body was like in imbalance and stuff like that. And the summer weather is not it. I don't like it at all. Um, so it's very disruptive to my body, I would say. Um, yeah, I hate summer to be honest. Hopefully that answered your question, Garcia.
Yeah, I agree. What's the other? One second. Um, no, I might ask that later on. What do you think you're best at? When you receive compliments or praise, what do they tend to be about?
Hmm. I feel like it's really hard to compliment myself at times, because I feel like I can be a little bit too self-doubting or maybe just a little bit too humble. But I have seen like other people like compliment me um, on how much of a good listener I am. Like, yeah, like one time my friend just said that like I have a relaxing presence or something like that, which I didn't really expect that, especially coming from her. But yeah. it took me by surprise, I guess. But yeah, I just make sure to be like really attentive to what people are saying. Um, Even if I don't really care about what they're saying or like the subject or anything, I just make sure to give like my attention as much as possible. Um, because I just feel like it would be rude to like if somebody's like spilling out your questions and you're just like, I just feel like I just have to be there sometimes, and I feel like even like um, people just see like how I'm a good listener like through like text or even like in person, I guess. Because I just make sure to like be receptive to like their thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Daniel. How do I hide this? I can add these, but I can't remove them. Okay, that will stay up. How are responsibilities distributed between yourself and your family or housemates? Do you like to cook? If so, what dishes? And do you cook for others? I know that's a lot at once, but like,
Yeah.
answer what you want.
Well, I could definitely be a little bit more responsible. Um, I have been trying to learn how to cook more dishes. Usually I cook for myself and nobody else. Feel like I'm a little selfish in that aspect. I don't really want to cook for my parents because that feels tiresome. I already do enough for them by just like grabbing them like snacks and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna prepare a whole full course meal or some stuff like that. But yeah, um, I mean, I usually keep my bedroom clean sometimes. Sometimes it's my cat's
Usually,
fault.
sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Get really. But because sometimes it can be my cat's fault because she tends to be a very messy person, and I'm just like I can't deal with this right now. And obviously, my physical environment, like it bothers me a lot. But sometimes I'm like too lazy to deal with it at times. So yeah. But like if I'm feeling really motivated that day, I guess I'll clean it up. Um, but yeah.
All right.
Um,
Nor has a question. Do you procrastinate?
yes.
And that's shocking.
I don't know how to go any more in depth with that.
Yeah, I don't expect you to.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward that I procrastinate a lot. Yeah.
And Daniel's question: what motivates you to cook?
Um, hmm. Sometimes my mom has to really push me to cook. Um, but sometimes I guess I can gain a little bit of fun out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes watching YouTube videos kind of motivates me, but then I don't really end up doing it. So, oh well.
All right. One moment. Okay, yet another one. Does your mood affect your motivation?
Yes, very much so. Well, actually, hmm, I think it really depends because when I'm in a perfectly like neutral and happy mood, I'll like probably still not be like, well, okay, let me take that back. I mean, like when I feel like really excited by something or like inspired by something, is inspiration a mood? Okay, well, I feel it. So Yeah, I feel like it definitely would affect my motivation. But obviously, if I'm like in a sad mood or something like that, like I'll feel less inclined to do it. So yeah, I would say to a degree it does.
Okay. One moment. Um, okay, I have a question that's kind of related to that, actually.
Okay.
Once I can find it. Um, how strong are your emotions, and when your mood changes, is it for an observable reason, or is it seemingly random?
Hmm. Sorry, could you say it again? I understood what you said, but just say it again.
Yeah, I get that. How strong are your emotions? When your mood changes, is it for an observable reason, or is it seemingly random?
Um, yeah, I think it would be pretty observable. Um, like it makes sense. Oh well. Hmm. Teenage angst did mess me up a little bit at times, but
Oh, that's how. Go on.
yeah. I was like, um, but yeah, sometimes my emotions can come out pretty strongly. I feel like I've actually been like told by a friend that like it can be pretty obvious when I'm like in a bad mood or something like that, because it often shows up on my face. Even if I might be like denying of my emotions and stuff like that, it's pretty evident when I'm in a bad or good mood. Um, but I wouldn't say that random mood, like, I wouldn't say I have many random mood swings. They're like often driven by like something else that might have affected me, I would say. I feel like that was kind of vague, but hopefully that was good enough.
No, that's all right. That's good. Okay. Um, does your sense of morality ever deviate from what is normally accepted as moral? If so, how? I feel like I've asked you that in the past, but
I feel like you have to, but generally I would say no. I feel like it aligns with what's morally right. Um, hmm. Yeah, I would say so. Like, I don't think it really deviates from what's normally accepted.
hmm,
Um, I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to think of like American laws right now, but like, I don't think I can think of anything that's like deviates from what's morally acceptable. So yeah, not that I can
yeah.
think of it.
Okay. One second. Um, let's see. On that question that I asked just a bit ago, just as sort of a follow up to that, does anything affect your mood more than it would for most people?
I feel like it's hard to differentiate like my moods like being like more different from like most people, I guess. I feel like sometimes I can be a little bit dramatic when it comes to like I guess how I like mentioned earlier about how I can be like pretty aware of my body, and if like something's like not right in my environment, like if the temperature's off or some crap like that, I guess I get like really like over dramatic about it. So yeah, those emotions might come out a little bit stronger in comparison to other people who like might suck it up and just be like, oh, it's the way it is. But yeah.
All right. Well, I have some good news. Um, we've basically narrowed it down to a few types, and very likely one of them.
Cool.
Yes. Prince Noir asks, are you more likely to give someone the benefit of the doubt, or are you more likely to keep your distance from certain types of people?
Um, yeah, I feel like I've given people like the benefit of doubt a lot of times, especially in like that one toxic friend group that I was in. They had let me down like so many times, um, in like their behavior and like the way they treated me. But I still decided to give them a bunch of second chances. Even if I would like, sometimes I would like literally block them, like on social media apps and stuff like that. But then I would like feel guilty about it, and I would think like, oh, I'm just being overreactive, um, and I'm like being too dramatic. So then I would like resort to giving them like the benefit of doubt and like start. I would like start putting like the blame on me in some way. So yeah, I wish I could do the second one, but whatever.
Um, is it easy for your mood to improve if you aren't feeling all right, if the emotional atmosphere is positive, or do you find it more difficult?
Hmm. That's a hard question. Um, Usually I feel like I would try to separate myself from the positive emotion environment because ideally I would like not, I wouldn't really want to mess up that environment. If I think back to like edgy 14-year-old me, I would probably stay in like the same environment, and my mood would probably be like harder to improve because I would be like so like self-absorbed absorbed and like self-engrossed in like my own feelings.
Yeah.
But like over time, I've just like learned how to like step back and like just go to another area, aka the bathroom, so I can just like gain my composure or something like that. But sometimes I do feel like it can really improve, especially if like people are like prompting me to like, you know, get hyped or something like that. I feel like it could easily be improved. So yeah. Um yeah.
Okay. Um, what's your opinion on bicycles?
I hate them. I don't know how to ride a bicycle.
I'm very sorry, bicycle.
Yeah, I'm scared of them.
I feel like
Yeah.
he's going to ask that to everyone I type publicly.
Well, I think it's a very important question to be honest.
And
There are a
great.
lot of
It's asking the questions that need to be asked.
sometimes such a simple question can really get into the mind of a person. You never know.
Very true. Very true. Okay, just a moment. What are your parents like?
Hmm. Okay. I'm asking
Is
this
that
question, but it's not. I feel like I. This isn't really about how they're like, but more so my relationship with them. My cat shut up. Um, yeah, I feel like I would genuinely get along with my mom because she's very like open-minded, I would say, and she's very relaxed. Of course, she like pushes me to like be my best self, and like she tries to push me at my comfort zone at times. Like when I'm not like comfortable to do stuff um, like for example, I guess I got like accepted to like a leadership program in my college, and I was like pretty hesitant to like really do anything with it. But she really like pushed me to like do something with it because I feel like she's better at visualizing stuff that might have like a better long term impact on my future. I would say. Um, because like I'm usually like in the moment, like, oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want to do it right now. Um, so I would say that my mom's definitely like my biggest motivator in life. Now my dad, um, I feel like he's a little bit disconnected from my life. Like I'm often told that he like loves me, but it feels like it's very disconnected, in a sense. Um, like he's not gonna be the one that really motivates me to like do something new in like school or whatever, or he doesn't really ask that much about like um how like I just don't think he really cares about. I'm sure he probably does. It just doesn't show out in a way that is apparent to me, like through like words or like it's not physical. I
yeah?
don't know, I guess you could say. But like through my mom, it's definitely more apparent, and her love is like more apparent to me. Um, so I'm sure they both have like definitely like the same type of equal love for me. Um, but I just like how like my mom is way more expressive.
Yeah. Here's something I would like to ask. Are you quick-tempered? I mean, you kind of answered that, but are you quick-tempered? If so, in what cases? How do you react if your relationship does not work out? And what do you do if your friends quarrel with you? I know that you've sort of answered those, but maybe give it more. I don't know
Yeah,
if you feel like there's anything else to say.
um, yeah, I would say that I can be pretty quick tempered. Yeah, sometimes I might often like regret like my sudden outburst of like anger at times. But sometimes like I can like recognize when like they're necessary. Um, Especially like when somebody like overcrosses like the boundaries of like somebody I care about. What was the other parts of the questions? I forgot. I felt like
I'll
there's
reread
more.
it. Um, I'll reread the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you quick-tempered? If so, in what cases? How do you react if your relationship does not work out? And what do you do if your friends quarrel with you?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I am quick tempered, like I said. And if my relationship doesn't work out, since I actually have experience with this, if I tried like many attempts after like confronting them with how they made me feel, and they're obviously not receptive of like my feelings, honestly, I would just go like MIA on them because I'm not gonna waste my time with anybody who doesn't care about how I feel. Um, like I'll try to be like like open minded to how like their perspective and stuff, but like if it's evident to me that they don't really care about how I am or like how this relationship is impacting me, then I'll just like leave it in the dust. So yeah.
And how often does that happen?
Um, It doesn't happen that often. Well, I mean, the instances where I've like tried to confront them, it happened a lot. Like it was just a continuous cycle of me, getting confronting them not really like trying to make a big deal and like say, oh, you're just being too oversensitive. Then I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. Then I get oversensitive and we can go, no, I am right. Then I block them. And then like, no, I'm being overdramatic. So then I unblock them. And then eventually the cycle stopped. And that was like around like junior year or something like that. And so I just like put it into it, I would say. And that would just only happen with like two friends because I felt like they were kind of like ganging up on me. So yeah. But like
Okay.
obviously like my one close friend that I'm close with, it doesn't happen like at all. So yep.
Yeah. Daniel Garcia asks, what are your favorite lockdown meals?
Um ramen noodles. Ramen noodles. And ramen noodles.
Understandable.
Yeah. It's easy to make, to be honest. You can go
Yeah.
pretty freestyle with it at times. So yeah.
Okay. One moment. This is a really vague question, but when do you feel the most happy and at peace?
Hmm. I guess when I'm just like simply doing stuff I enjoy. Um, I feel like this is kind of a superficial question or answer. But I guess I feel most happy when I'm in my bed. Like, just to be real with you, like, if I'm just doing nothing at times and I'm just like, I just don't feel like the need to do anything to like occupy like my mind or like body or anything like that. I just feel at peace when I'm just like resting simply in my bed and petting my cat. So yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The whole world has united under a single world government. It is ruled autocratically. That ruler is you. What's your plan?
Oh crap! What?
You have 5 seconds.
Is the option to hand over the leadership position to somebody else? Because that's exactly what I would do. But if
That's
if
fair.
that wasn't the option, um, if that wasn't the option, um, shoot, what the heck? What the heck? How do you even answer like a hypothetical scenario like that? Um, ooh. Hmm. Maybe I would pull like some kind of divergent move or something like that. Just like separate people into like different categories based on like their strength, their intelligence, or some crap like that. I don't know. Um, yeah, that kind of thing sounded cool back to me when I was reading that book. So I'll just copy their style of governing. Why not? I can't think of anything original.
That sounds perfect. One moment. Okay, I think I've figured it out for the most part, but I'm just gonna ask a few more questions to verify.
Cool.
Um, how do you behave in unfamiliar company? Do you immediately enter into a conversation, look around for a while? wait until someone approaches you, etc.?
Yeah, I would definitely wait until somebody approaches me. I would probably be like, I'm definitely like intrigued by like new people, but I have like a hard time like interacting with them or like not interacting with them. Like I can easily interact with like new people. It's really hard for me to make the first move, I would say at times. Um, but like I really like to meet new people and like just seeing people from like different diverse backgrounds and like mindsets and stuff like that. That really intrigues me, but usually I would hope for them to be like the bigger person and come up to me. But yeah, I wish I had the guts to come up to them more often, but usually I wait for them. Hopefully that's not the case when I go to college, but yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. One moment. What do you think of conspiracy theories? Which do you believe in, if any, and why?
Hmm. Honestly, I don't. I feel like I used to believe in them when I was younger, but I don't really believe in any conspiracy theories, or at least there hasn't been any that really like caught my interest, I would say. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, I can't think of anything to be honest.
Okay, that's fair. Um, this should be the last question.
Okay.
What were you like as a kid? Did any moments or aspects of your personality at the time stand out to you?
Yeah. Hmm. I feel like my memory of like my childhood is like a bit vague. Um, but I feel like I definitely had like a lot of friends when I was younger. And I definitely held like a lot of birthday parties when I was younger. Yeah, trying to like think
Hmm.
back a little bit so I can get like a fleshed out answer. But yeah, definitely way more outgoing at times. Sometimes I feel like I was a little bit I could be a little bit disobedient or like curious at times and like I would like do my own thing. Um what was one thing that my mom said that I did? Um oh yeah, there was like one time I guess like all the kids were like playing at my house or something like that and they would like be still playing but I get like tired very easily and like worn out by like all like the energy and like chaos. So I would just go to bed early. Even if like all of my friends were there. So and then my mom would like have to motivate me to get back up. So yeah. I don't remember doing that, but apparently it happened. Um but yeah, it was definitely interesting. Um What's another thing? Yeah, I feel like I definitely sometimes I have like my moments of being like outgoing and like shy at times, but I definitely knew um I was definitely curious about like getting to know other people at times. And I would be like more confrontational about it since I when I was younger because I guess I was just a little a little innocent back then. But a little bit. But in comparison to now, that's not really the case. But yeah, yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay. Okay. Before I tell you what I believe your type is, I want to do like a poll or something to see what people think. Out
Cool.
of, I'm just gonna list these off in like quadra order.
Is there any way I can see this
Um,
poll, or is it on YouTube or something?
there's literally no way for me to, so I can just like I'll just let it occur in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Do you think it's most likely that she is SIF, NIF, or FIN? If any, let's see if anyone is still watching.
Oh, I hope I'm not that boring.
Let's see if anyone else says anything.
My feelings won't be hurt, guys.
Daniel, is anyone else watching? Because I have no way to tell.
It's fine.
Okay, I think I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Since thanks, Michael. Yeah, I think that you are SIF. That's what seems most likely. I also think that you're an introverted subtype of some kind, most likely filtering, but possibly also stabilizing. If you want to do another session to figure out subtypes, since I don't have a great method of doing so right now, then we can do that in the future. But that is up to you.
Cool. Yeah. I'll definitely think about it, but yeah. Is there any like key points that like pointed out to that or whatever?
Yeah, so first of all, it's pretty obvious that you're ethical. You have a really good grasp of your own feelings and your own feelings about other people. You were described as a good listener, which suggests introverted and ethical, which was pretty clear to me just in your way of speaking, your general temperament, what you said. You come off very much as having the sincere or soulful communication style. That was the most obvious, and I guess you already knew that since that's what everyone was typing you as.
Yeah.
Among those four, FIN was ruled out by you having a somewhat quick temper at times. Not that that's like a huge trait about you, but FIN does not do that at all. That's the trait that's most lacking in them. They do not show those things directly, as far as I know. So that was kind of ruled out for you. You seem, I'm pretty sure that you have, well, yeah, so yeah, you just, I guess the other three all have high energy SE minus, which is kind of, but but I think that you have low energy SE plus, which rules out FIS. That rules out FIS. There's other evidence, but I'm just naming some of the key things that I saw. And that leaves us with SIF and NIF. I think that you value SI and NE over NI and SE. And I just got a general peripheral vibe from you. This focus on relaxation, I guess. And that's just sort of the way that your life seems to go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things that help me distinguish. I also can't see you seeking out or being balanced out by an SET. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you would agree with that.
No, I'd agree with that. I mean, I haven't seen any SUTs in my lifetime, but based on what I might hear from like descriptions of them and stuff like that, I don't think I would probably meet them. I guess I don't know, but yeah, they
Yeah.
wouldn't balance me out, whatever.
The other main thing is that I think you have good SI. I think that you're good, that you're relatively good at maintaining that state of comfort and relaxation. You sort of mentioned a lot of ways of doing so, which an intuitive would find much more difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to list off all of the evidence because I literally, like, every time I see something, I put it into a program, and then because I do that, it like instantly evaporates from my mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I get you. Yeah, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah. I will think a bit about whether you're stabilizing or filtering, since that's the main thing.
Could you tell me like something about like what those subtypes are like? Because I've never heard of them before. So
Okay, well, they're the introverted subtypes, and I see clear enough introversion in you, even on the social level, especially since you said you were more outgoing as a kid. That suggests maybe even a subtype change. So yeah, that's why I think that you were stabilizing or filtering, just not being as strong, as outgoing as you used to be, and having a clear, like, introverted disposition at this point. I don't know. I don't know why, but I am not able to explain things well right now.
It's all good. It's all good. You can explain it through text or anything like that. Like, there's no rush at all.
Okay. I can't. Yeah, I don't even have a clear explanation right now for why I was slightly thinking filtering over stabilizing. So I'll just think about that. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that you'd like to know?
No, I feel like everything makes sense. Like, I don't definitely disagree with you. But yeah, it definitely makes sense a lot. And I definitely,
okay, good.
Even based off what I read about SIFs or SEIs or, whatever we call them.
Yeah, I saw you had that role.
Yeah. I feel like most people would agree that I am that. So yeah, I think it definitely makes sense. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if you were so often typed as NIF or FIN just because people tend to type everyone as intuitive, just because they're part of the psychology community.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know much about socionics yet. I haven't looked into it enough. But I feel like it might be a little bit more common for people to be censors in socionics. If we're gonna do a comparison right now about how MBTI is so flawed when it comes to differentiating sensors and intuitives, that basically everybody is intuitive in that system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely sure that there's some mistypes in that in the socionic system, whether it be Model A or Model G, or Model G2. But
I just realized now how weird it was that I'm letting a black screen occupy half of.
Yeah, guys.
There's no use for this, and yet there it is.
But yeah, most people are in a different system. Not Model A, but it is based off Model A, the Rainin, what's it called?
Rainin dichotomies.
Yeah, that. I can't even say the word. But yeah, I was typed as a FIN or EII in that.
Yeah, the problem with that is that I think a lot of them are badly defined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't like to use
There's
them.
Way too many hypothetical scenarios that I couldn't really apply myself to them because I guess I'm not the most imaginative person at times.
Well, that fits with.
Yeah. But
See, it
yeah,
all makes sense.
it's just basically like all hypothetical scenarios, and I couldn't like rely back that much onto like my experiences, or like at least I tried to, but it was still like kind of hard to at times. But yeah,
All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go because I have a typing to do soonish, and I'm hungry. So,
yep,
um, yeah. Um,
cool.
thanks for doing this. Hopefully, it
Thank
helped.
you. It was helpful.
Yeah, of course. All right. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Peace out.